The Collector Booster Box in Magic the Gathering, originally an experiment, part of Project Booster Fun, that was supposed to give us Magic fans a new way to chase down rare versions of Magic the Gathering cards, bling out our binders, and be proud of, the things we're slamming down on the table during our Commander games. But Magic has come a long way since the first Collector Booster Box, and now that we are so far down the rabbit hole in the world of variants, treatments, and options for our cards, the Collector Booster Box has seemed to be a bit out of place, causing a wild swing in this product and a seemingly misplaced iteration of what the Collector Booster Box was originally meant to be. But I think that Wizards of the Coast is not going to just abandon ship. I think they're going to have to make wholesale changes to the Collector Booster Box. So today we're going to talk about what got us here. Why is the Collector Booster Box in such a weird spot from release to release? And we're actually going to predict, given Wizards of the Coast track record, what changes are going to be made to the Collector Booster Box. And spoiler alert, it's probably going to get more expensive. I'm a big believer that to know where we're going, we have to remember where we've been. And when it comes to the Magic the Gathering Collector Booster Box, it seems that there's a dark, rainy cloud following this product around as of recent. But let's recall the first iteration of the Collector Booster Box. And no, not any of those like, ooh, collectible hidden pack here and alternate stuff here. No, like the Throne of Eldraine release of the first widely available on your game store shelf Collector Booster Box. This was actually a really good product. We as consumers bought a ton of it. We liked the cards that we got out of it, and we actually viewed it as collectible. I know. Now remember, this was just a slightly pre-world shutting down event that caused us all to dive into Magic the Gathering almost full time and pretty much plunged us headfirst into the era of variants and chase things from Wizards of the Coast. But be that as it may, we liked the Throne of Eldraine Collector Booster Box. Now, fast forward to today, as of the recording of this video in 2024, the Collector Booster Box has undergone several iterations and finds itself in a space now where we don't actually enjoy it as much as we once did, and we have a wide variety of Collector Booster Boxes in the Collector Booster Box ecosystem. I know, that's just insane to have to say out loud. So I want to remember that while we have this discussion, this actually started as a product, much like set boosters, that we really enjoyed. But if we once enjoyed it, and here we are right now with some Collector Booster Boxes being $120 and some being $420 nice dollars, where did it all go wrong? Well, Collector Booster Boxes as they sit today really lean into the world of variants, and as the Magic the Gathering products that we enjoy have really blended into one another, so much so recently that Wizards of the Coast discontinued two of them, smashed them together, and just made one play booster instead of the draft and set. We really have eliminated the need for the Collector Booster Box in some releases. And what I mean by this is, let's take Karlov Manor as the most recent example. People who want to chase cards down in Karlov Manor, have a bunch of stuff to play in their decks, or just play limited with their friends, have a product with which to do so. They have the Play Booster Box. But people who want to attack Magic the Gathering from a different angle, and yes, here on this channel, we respect people who want to engage with Magic the Gathering no matter how they do it. I don't want to hear, stop being a collector, just play the game. Like, no, some people just like to collect, and as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. But for those people looking to have their fun with Karlov Manor, they could buy the Play Booster, where they could get almost everything that they could out of the Collector Booster Box, sans maybe a foil treatment here or there, and serialized cards that also seem to be really rare. Or they could buy a Collector Booster, get less packs, have less fun opening it, and not really are guaranteed to get anything that they couldn't have gotten in the Play Booster. Well, because these products have become smashed so tightly together, and there is still a good amount of price that separates them, and even more when you think of it on a price per pack basis, the Collector Booster Box seems to have lost its way. But that's not always the case. We see Universes Beyond sets, or even premium sets, where the Collector Booster Box is by and far the most popular product, but there's a massive catch with these sets as well. Let's take a look no further than the recent Fallout Commander release. Now, Fallout Commander is a Commander subset, so it's a little bit different than a standard release or even something like Lord of the Rings or Commander Masters, but I do think it still works here. When we consider the collector booster box for Fallout Commander, we have to remember that not only are 90% of the cards in the Fallout Collector Booster Box available just by purchasing the deck set, but also that this Collector Booster Box commands an increasingly insane price point. As of right now, they're recording this video, I think they're like oscillating between $380 and $400 on the secondary market, and really it's almost double what you could get the Commander deck set for. So we do have a nice gap in products here, a useful Collector Booster Box containing, it's a high value, it's got collectible things in it that people want, contrasted with people who want to play the game can go and buy the Commander deck sets, get out and jam with their friends, and have every card available at their fingertips. Almost. Remember, we said 90%. The big fault in this collector booster box is it doesn't necessarily drive someone who buys the decks to then purchase the collector booster box in an efficient way, because not only are you not getting chase variants of cards that are in your deck as much, but you actually feel almost like you're compelled or have to buy it because there are cards and they are reprints, but they're exclusive to the collector booster box, just functionally unique reprints in the collector booster if you follow along. But I say all that to say this: that collector booster box finds itself in a wide gap from the product, but really a $200 point of entry into the set to begin with, then jumping up to essentially a $400 collector booster box is not exactly healthy. And as we mentioned, this product has lost its way, and the theory of the collector booster box, a place where people who look at Magic the Gathering from a collectible perspective and want to have that Pokemon effect, crack packs until they find their special thing, this product has lost its way. But I don't think it's gone forever. I think we live in the world of variance in Magic the Gathering. The number of things we can get out of a regular set is increasingly wild. Let's talk about Thunder Junction. I actually did a video, I'll link it here for anyone who's interested. Thunder Junction has 5 subsets in the standard release of the product. It might be one of the most insane things that I have ever seen. Some of those subsets are legal in certain formats, some of them are not, some of them are a Commander subset with just various reprints, and so on and so forth. And because of this, it's pretty unclear as to what I'm spending my hard-earned money on when I buy this premium product. What is available only in here that I can't get in the Play Booster? And furthermore, is there only just a version or two of this that the community, of some card in the collector booster box that the community pretty much rejects? Let's consider the Streets of New Capenna collector booster box, where there was awesome versions of cards. The gilded foils were absolutely beautiful, and some of the etched foils and Planeswalker chase cards that were in that product seemed really hard to come by. But this product was wildly rejected because we as a community not only didn't take to the treatments, but didn't take to collecting things out of that set. We instead just grabbed regular versions of stuff, slammed them in our decks, and just chugged along. So the risk with the collector booster box here is really under the spotlight, and we see kind of how this product has gone wrong. But when you think of all of the negative steps or the missteps with the collector booster box, I think we can pretty much predict at this point how Wizards of the Coast is going to fix these problems. And yes, if you guessed that they were going to increase the price of this product, I think you'd be right. I think Wizards of the Coast looks to create price separation, as we talked about earlier. Boxes that seem more expensive than their regular for the player counterparts seem to do better on the secondary market. They seem to be more coveted, and when they are more coveted on the secondary market, it means that people are buying them up more on their first release, because more of us are trying to get our hands on this. It's just, this seems basic to me, but there's a catch here. There's a problem, and that's in the world of variance. That's not going to work with every Magic the Gathering release. When we are getting 11 to 12 sets a year, I know it's really only like 10, but I'm going to say 11 to 12 because it's funny to think about a Magic release every month and just someone being like, oh, the new set, oh, the new set, oh, that just makes me giggle. When we're getting that many Magic the Gathering products, it's almost impossible to justify collecting all of the time. And we are going to lean into the wise words of the CEO of Hasbro, and we are going to only engage with what matters to us. And this, when we separate the price of the collector box to be a more expensive box versus its regular Magic fan counterpart, the affordable point of entry, we're going to have less people see this as a viable option on more and more sets. But I don't think that will be the end of the road. I think there's a fix here that we could suggest that actually would help the collector booster box and would still get all of the cards into the hands of the player so they could jam them in Magic games. Now, if you've stuck around this long, again, not only consider subscribing to the channel, but let me know what you think about this idea in the comment section below, because I don't think people flesh this one out. Anytime that something like this has been suggested or I have suggested it, I get a lot of screaming, stop making Magic expensive. That's not what we're doing here. We are going to make Magic affordable and make chase things and be able to attack Magic from multiple fronts. I want to continue to produce affordable entry points to products. I've said before on the channel that products without affordable entry points, like something like Commander Masters, is a massive failure. Modern Horizons 3 looks like it might be this, with no way for people to get in with a moderate amount of money in their pocket. This seems like a big miss from Magic the Gathering. But on sets that do have an affordable point of entry, make all of the functional cards available in those products, which we're doing a good job of now with the play boosters. I know we're going to scream at me, but you can go online and buy a play booster for $110 on the internet. That is not unheard of. That's not ridiculous. And also, the problem here is with the price that Wizards of the Coast charges distribution, and the distribution charges stores, and now stores can't have to charge as much, and then they lose their shirt when they shirt. I've made a whole video about that. You can find it on the channel. We're not getting into that right now. But then widen that gap. Make a limited print run of hard-to-find collector boxes, and while you do so, scale back the number of variants that you can get in the play boosters. I didn't say scale back the available cards for people to play with on Magic the Gathering. I said the number of variants. This way, if you want to play Magic, you can have access to every single card in affordable price. But if you want to spend extra on a limited product, not only can you do so, but with the scaled back number of variants and exclusive things in the collector booster box, you are almost guaranteed to get something rare and coveted that at least you can be proud of. I mean, heck, I constantly chase down serialized cards from the Brothers War. I know something about things that I am proud of that the rest of the community seems to have all but rejected, and I still find a lot of joy in collecting that. I think we can bring this full circle and bring the collector booster box back to its glory days, where the things inside are actually chase variants and all the other cards are accessible, but they're not a bunch of variants. We don't have the pick of our litter. We can't choose from that. We have to actually seek a collectible item to find collectibles. And hey, that's a world where the collector box has to exist. I wouldn't be opposed to just kind of scaling back to one box and still making certain chase things really hard to get. Maybe case hits, maybe master case hits, and so on and so forth. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you so much for sticking through this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've never shared a Hometown TCG video, there's never been a better time than right now. I hope you had a lot of fun. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and we will see you around. All right, I'm going to roll away now. Goodbye.